This is already a niche variant of chess called Kung Fu Chess, and you can play it online. Listen to the glorious sound effects of this version. There's no conceivable way that I could match this quality, so why even try?
Chess is boring. I'm boring too, so I quite enjoy it. But there's a big latency bug that the developers of chess just completely—
Wait a second. Why are the closed captions off? And also it's a little bit low. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Wait, what the captions look a little bit off, but let's go.
Chess is boring. I'm boring too, so I quite enjoy it. But there's a big latency bug that the developers of chess just completely forgot to patch.
Wait, do I have this on normal? Wait, is it too fast? Maybe it's too fast.
Chess is boring. I'm boring too, so I quite enjoy it. But there's a big latency bug that the developers of chess just completely forgot to patch. You spend literally half the time just waiting for your opponent. There's no way that your internet-addled brains could sustain such a stimulation deficit, which is why I made this extremely over-engineered electronic chessboard that removes the concept of turns from the game entirely. Each piece has an individual cooldown during which it can't move again, but other than that, you can move your pieces whenever you want. And not only does the board display these cooldowns, it also physically locks the pieces in place, so you can't even cheat by accident if you ever lose track.
This is real-time chess.
Okay, so what do I actually mean by real-time chess?
I'm not gonna lie. This actually looks kind of interesting. I'm not gonna lie.
Chess players move sequentially in turns, one after another. In real-time chess, there's no such restriction, and you can move whenever you feel like, independent of your opponent. Of course, this would be a bit chaotic and turn chess into purely a game of physical dexterity, so I'll compromise a bit and give each piece an individual cooldown. When I move this knight, it can't move for another 5 seconds, but that doesn't affect the movement of any of my other pieces in the meantime. Once the timer is finished, that piece can move again. Also, there's no concept of checkmate. You only lose when the king is actually captured.
My first idea was to implement this as an app or website, which would have been fairly easy. Imagine that, a whole project done in a weekend.
Say goodbye to year-long waits between videos.
But alas, I'm not creative, unique, or any of the other things my mother told me I was when nobody showed up for my 9th birthday party.
This is already a niche variant of chess called Kung Fu Chess, and you can play it online. Listen to the glorious sound effects of this version. There's no conceivable way that I could match this quality, so why even try?
To truly—
That's amazing. That's really— wait, what is that on Lee Chess? Wait, Kung Fu Chess? I gotta Google that. Kung Fu Chess. Yeah, Kung Fu Chess. I'm gonna play versus AI after this video, okay? After this video, we're gonna play it.
There's no conceivable way that I could match this quality, so why even try?
To truly meet my lofty standards of originality, I need to make this idea in the real world, with electronics to keep track and enforce the piece cooldowns.
According to my extensive literature review, I will be the first person in history to attempt this. To give you a sense of difficulty, technically humans will have walked on the moon more than 50 years before anyone managed to make a chessboard without turns. If accomplishing such a feat doesn't deserve a subscription, like, and comment, I don't know what does.
That's a good
My first
video.
idea was to have a little battery, a microcontroller, an accelerometer, and some LEDs in the pieces. Every time you pick up the piece, the sensor recognizes it and starts the cooldown with the LEDs. As long as someone piece has an LED lit up, they're not allowed to move it.
This approach has a huge problem, but it isn't actually technical. As described, I could probably make it in a few weeks.
Say goodbye to year-long waits between videos. The issue is that my friends aren't even close to trustworthy. Look at Isaac. During a chaotic real-time game of chess with pieces flying everywhere, do you really think he could be trusted not to bend the rules a little bit? Didn't think so. To be really sure there's no suspicious behavior going on, I need to physically restrain the pieces while they're locked down. Doing it this way though is going to require a completely different approach and way more complexity. So here's the plan. This is an electromagnet. When you run current through it, it produces a magnetic field and any metal with iron in it is attracted, just like a fridge magnet. But when you don't apply a voltage, it's just a hunk of wires and doesn't do anything. If I put one of these under each square and selectively turn them on when the piece above is on cooldown, as long as we make the pieces out of metal, it'll enforce the rules just like I wanted. Here's the progression I went through to get to the final version. I started with a proof of concept prototype, and then went to a scaled down version of the board with only 16 squares. Once I was confident everything worked, I designed and assembled the final version. This initial breadboard prototype was essentially to just make sure that magnets do in fact stick to things and that I actually still know how transistors work. You might think the latter wouldn't be an issue given I made a whole computer out of them, but it turns out Terraria doesn't simulate its version.
by the way, like, jokes aside, why is this guy doing this? Like no cap. Like, why is this guy on YouTube making videos like this? He should be like working at like NASA or somewhere. Like, why is this guy on YouTube making these videos when he should like be like doing something to change the world?
Version of transistors entirely accurately. Really goes to show how unrealistic video games are these days. The proof of concept mostly worked how I expected, but I did learn something very important while testing this. The holding electromagnets I'm using are extremely short range. This electromagnet is rated for 5 kilograms, and I can easily hold objects less than that. Even a piece of paper between is enough to reduce this force to almost nothing though.
Oh.
This is a problem, since I originally wanted to put the electromagnets under the squares, which would have been much more than a paper-thin gap. Back to the drawing board. Here's what I came up with. The electromagnets are embedded inside the squares, since for maximum strength they have to be right next to the pieces. There are also holes in the squares for RGB LEDs to show the cooldown state for each square and, more importantly, fit in with my tacky gamer aesthetic. The electromagnets are pretty heavy, so to make sure it's sturdy enough, everything in the board itself is machined out of metal, mostly aluminum. For this iteration, I made the board only 4x4 instead of the normal 8x8, and even left out most of the squares themselves, since it was just for testing and I didn't want to spend overly long machining. The squares are screwed directly onto the printed circuit board, or PCB, which holds all the electronics. JLC PCB, the sponsor for this video, manufactured all the PCBs for this project. PCBs basically simplify all the wiring onto a 2D plane that's completely equivalent but much more compact than if you had regular wires going everywhere. To understand what they do well, let me explain how making prototype PCBs works. You have a bunch of electrical components that you want to connect together, like sensors or LEDs. You first use some software to design the PCB, which defines how each of these components are connected together and how they're all laid out. Then companies like JLC PCB will manufacture it, which turns all these abstract electrical connections into physical traces of copper to make these connections. After that, all the components are soldered onto the board, which requires either super expensive machinery or a very steady hand and a lot of patience for tweezer work to place everything manually. I've done it a lot, and this last step always sucks, which is why I was excited to try JLC PCB's assembly service that automatically assembled pieces so strong that I decide you can kinda move a piece by force, but for the most part there's no way you could accidentally cheat on this. I was ready to scale everything up for the full version.
Okay.
Going from the 16 square version to the full 64 is actually pretty simple.
Yeah, you guys, I mean, we all completely understand what he's saying. I completely understand what he's saying, obviously. We all understand it completely. Everything makes full sense.
Basically just copy the existing system 4 times, each one rotated by 90 degrees. There are wires between them for power and communication, but for the most part these 4 sections act independently of one another. Before I can actually make it though, I have to address a huge part of the project I've been completely glossing over. How does the board actually detect pieces? Naively, you might think this is pretty easy. I could just copy how professional broadcast boards used in big tournaments recognize which piece is on each square. However, we need to do something a bit trickier. Imagine one player moves a piece and the cooldown starts, magnetically locking it into place. If the other player wants to capture this piece before the cooldown is over, they should be able to. But since it's still physically locked in place to prevent the first person from moving it, they're stuck.
True.
Not only does the board have to recognize when a piece is moved, but it also has to recognize which player is the one to actually touch the piece. This is a genuinely hard problem and easily the trickiest part of the project.
Here's one potential solution to that. I apply a different voltage to each person through a wristband. The squares and the pieces are electrically conductive, so when a player touches a piece, I can read the voltage on that square, and based on that I can tell which player is moving. If I detect that someone's trying to move their own piece while it's on cooldown, I keep it locked, since it's probably one of my cheating friends. If the other player touches it though, I release it, since it must be a capture.
The only small problem with this plan is that it doesn't work.
The idea is there, but humans are pretty good insulators, and there's inconsistent grounding, so you can't reliably separate people based on this. As a fix to this, instead of just applying the voltage directly, I apply a different time-varying voltage to each person, one at 500 oscillations per second and the other at 750. Even if there's a lot of random noise to the signal, we can use some mathematical witchcraft called a Fourier transform to separate out just the frequencies that we care about. If you're interested in how this works, 3Blue1Brown has a wonderful video on the math behind it. But for our purposes, you can think of it just as a tool to recognize which signal is being applied and by extension, which person is touching the piece.
Okay.
The intuition is that if you take a signal and add a bunch of electrical noise to it, it's going to look almost random. However, unless the random noise you added happens to be perfectly synced up to 500 Hz, which we have no reason to think.
Also, by the way, what is this music in the background? What is this music? This music is like killing me as well.
It would be. By extracting just that frequency component, we get an almost perfectly clear reconstruction of the original signal.
The really cool thing to me is that I've actually never seen this being used to differentiate between people touching something.
I'm sure that means that either I'll get a million comments telling me why it's a horrible idea, or how every retro turbo encabulator on the market already has one of these, but so be it.
Such an instrument is the turbo encabulator.
Of course, understandably, you might be a little bit worried about someone strapping wires to you from their homemade invention.
To be honest, I actually feel like these concerns are pretty reasonable, but so far people have been surprisingly amenable to just putting on the wristband with no questions asked.
To be clear, it really is totally safe though. The signal being applied is just a third of the voltage of a standard 9-volt battery, which are completely safe to touch. I specifically made sure there's no voltage in the design above 5 volts, so even if you don't trust any of my electronics work and everything shorts together, as long as the power supply is isolated, nothing bad can happen.
I'd still probably avoid this if you have a pacemaker though, since I don't really want to get sued.
Okay, with the detection figured out, back to making the actual board. For the
This is
production
really
of the parts I
good.
designed, I decided to get an external CNC service to do all the machining for me. Now I know what you're probably thinking. Is this not an affront to the very ethos of a channel presumptuously named from scratch? To which I'd respond. Once all the parts arrived, I still had to assemble it myself. Almost everything is attached with screws since I wanted to be able to disassemble it and fix things. Although in hindsight, I maybe went a bit overboard with this given there are 244 of them in total to put in manually. One might say that I got kinda screwed over by this decision. Thanks to my brothers Isaac and Dax for helping me with this. Of course, because I'm a reasonably competent engineer, everything just fit together nicely. Well, I guess except these holes that I forgot to drill and had to do manually. And these pins I forgot were too tall and had to cut off. And these holes that are geometrically impossible to insert a screw into. And the large portions of the design that I made with literally zero tolerance and had to do a bunch of sketchy Dremel work to even be able to insert. Okay, maybe competent engineer is a bit of an overstatement, but at least these were fairly straightforward workarounds. For the pieces, the main challenge is that only ferromagnetic metal like mild steel is attracted to magnets, and it needs to be relatively thick for maximum strength. Since I don't have a CNC lathe, the easiest solution is to buy existing metal pieces, then glue steel cylinders to the bottom. Thanks to
Okay.
Nathan for helping waterjet them. Remember that the piece detection algorithm requires pieces themselves to be conductive. Here I actually just got super lucky. I correctly assumed that the pieces would come with a non-conductive coating, which I'd have to strip off and somehow change the color of half the pieces.
However, remember that my method relies on conducting electricity through skin, which isn't very conductive anyways, so even if the pieces are a little tiny bit conductive, it'll work.
By pure chance, it turns out that the coating is low enough resistance that no modifications were required. In the same vein, I used a bit of conductive spray paint to make sure that the piece and the steel base are connected, and that works reliably, despite the fact that it's actually a really bad electrical connection in terms of resistance. With that done, the board was finally complete. I could not be happier with how it looks. This thing has the look and feel of a professional product. The fact it's all metal means it's incredibly sturdy, and it doesn't feel like it's some prototype that could break in any moment. The flip side of this is that it's 25 pounds though, which combined with its awkward size means it's a pain to bring anywhere. When the pieces are on cooldown, they're red or blue depending on the piece color, and when the pieces are ready to move, they're pink. Alright, so this is the first time
Okay.
you've ever played on the board. Let's see how it goes. Alright, I guess 3, 2, 1, go. Oh,
I want to see the game end though.
The board, as expected, is incredibly fun. Everyone seemed to enjoy it regardless of chess ability, although obviously chess experience is a big advantage even with the rule changes. One unique aspect of real-time chess is the inadvisable king blunder, as there's no concept of checkmate here. Since there's way more stuff going on than regular chess, this happens more often than you might think, even for players who are very good at regular chess at fast time videos. It also led to what is hands down my favorite play of any of the footage I recorded.
Sack this guy. Yeah, take it, take it, take it, take it, take it. And
While it was fun to play, I was unfortunately not out of the weeds of fiddly debugging work yet. When you have something you think should work, having it actually just work is obviously the best case. Having it not work isn't great, but it's not the end of the world. There's probably a specific reason it's not working, and you can bisect stuff until you figure out what the problem is. Being stuck in the awkward middle ground of sometimes working is the worst, since it's hard to tell whether you even fixed the problem when you change something. Specifically, for a few random squares, the electromagnet would just always be on, and occasionally the board would just short together the power supply for no apparent reason.
The game was still playable for the most part, but I hated dealing with these reliability issues.
This screw was the culprit. It's obvious in hindsight, really, just look how smug it looks. Sitting there all innocently, patiently taking its time to reveal its master plan and whisking away countless hours of my life in the process. What I think was happening was that when this screw and others like it were tightened enough, it dug into the PCB and shorted a few random wires together, although this was pretty sensitive and could randomly change when I moved or jiggled the board. The problem was that when I disassembled everything to debug, obviously the screw would come out as well, and I would think I'd solved it. Since I was dealing with a few confounding other issues at the same time, this was a huge pain to pick up on, and I ended up partially opening up and reassembling the board 4 or 5 times before I figured it out. But with that finally out of the way, everything actually worked. I think it's cool to watch one of these games play out. You can see that the early game is an initial rush of fairly standard moves to improve the position, similar to regular chess, just all happening in parallel. You'll have to take my word for it since it's hard to tell just watching, but the fact that any piece can randomly move without warning means that mental overhead of keeping track of the board is significantly higher than even bullet chess. When you're making moves on one side of the board, you have to actively be paying attention to the other, which is just a skill you don't pick up playing regular chess.
True.
If we take a quick pause, here's an example of a pure speed race. Somewhat unintentionally, black forgot to move their queen before white's rook came off cooldown, so now
Right.
it's purely a reaction speed contest for who makes it. In this case, black wins it by moving his queen out of the way in time. These come up a ton in real-time chess. Technically, these races are also a thing in Kung Fu chess, which is the online version I mentioned earlier, but I have to say they're way more fun and satisfying when you're both grabbing.
But I get it. The point here is that, like, basically you could also stall. You could take like 10 seconds here because there's no actual timer, but you can actually take a second because whatever your opponent does, then you can react to the cooldown.
For the same physical piece
interesting.
rather than just a symbol on a screen. I'm going to skip through a bit of the middle game, but as the game goes on we get to an interesting point. Black attempts to fork white with his knight, attacking both the white king and
the
queen
queen, yeah.
simultaneously. Even ignoring that black incorrectly calculates that the white bishop won't be off cooldown soon enough to capture the knight, this just isn't a threat unlike in normal chess, since white can move both the king and queen out of the way in quick succession. In
But
the
yeah,
end,
the
the
king's
game ends with
hanging,
white
yeah.
blundering their king while distracted with those complications.
Man, that was a lot of work for something that initially seemed pretty simple. Glad I don't have to do that again. Well, for a third time, that is. That's right. I actually made 2 of these things.
Right now I only have one set of pieces, but at some point I want to try playing real-time Bughouse, which is a really fun 4-player chess variant. I predict this will be exactly as chaotic as it sounds. This project has been many months in the making. If you enjoyed it, like and
That's a great video. That's a fantastic video. That's really, really good. That's a really, really good video, actually. I think Bughouse is impossible, but I actually it's kind of fun. It's kind of creative. That's really, really good stuff. That's really, really good. I like that. Okay, now we're gonna move to okay. I'll put the link, by the way, of the video in chat as well for anybody who wants it. I'm gonna play some Kung Fu chess if I can find it. Where is it? Kung Fu chess. Let me find it. Okay, let's try some Kung Fu chess. What is this? Let me change the scene. Okay. Let me change the scene. Let me adjust this. Adjust this a little bit. Let's make this bigger. Okay, let's try some Kung Fu chess. I assume this is correct. Maybe make it a little bit bigger on this edge. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's see how this is gonna go. Let's try some Kung Fu chess. Oh, let's make sure it's not muted either. Let's just make sure. Okay. Can you hear it? Oh, I'm on lockdown. I gotta keep moving. Wait, what's on lockdown? All my pieces are on lockdown. Okay. Wait, what's not on lockdown here? What's not on lockdown? I'm still in lockdown. No, you. Oh, what the? No. I misplayed this. Shoot, I'm in lockdown. I misplayed this. Or cooldown, I mean. I'm completely screwed. I need like, oh, I lost. I'm completely stuck. I'm stuck. Can I somehow get out of this with like a stalemate? I'm completely frozen. Oh, but you can move illegally. Okay, you can move illegally. I could have taken the king with a rook. I don't think so. Oh, could I have? I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking. Okay, let's do another game. How do I resign? Is there no way to resign? I'll let the king get taken. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do another one. Let's go. Okay. Okay, let's take a look. I'm trying to come up with some tricks here. Oh, I mouse slipped. I meant to take the king. I mouse slipped. I meant to take the king. Was it quicker than me? I couldn't tell. Was it quicker than me there? Let me just end the game. Oh, whatever. I'm just gonna end the game. Was it quicker than me or not? I couldn't tell. Let's just start over. Was it quicker than me or not? How do I can't resign, so let me just end the game. He moved fast. It moved faster than me. Okay, let's go again. Okay. Let me look at this position. Where am I at? I think I got him, no? I got him. I got him. I got him. I got him. Okay. I got him. I just barely got him. That was fun. This website is called Kung Fu Chess. I'll copy the link for you guys. He had a way to win my king too. That's the link, you guys. That's the link. That was actually pretty hilarious. That was really funny. Okay. Let's go again. Next game. All right, let's go. Next game. Oh, I meant to castle. No. Okay, let's focus. Wait, I didn't move my rook. Oh no, this isn't me. Wait. It's not me. Sorry. Wait. There's a computer playing. Let me refresh the site. Okay. Or I have to let it finish. Okay. I feel like I'm in like a Bruce Lee movie or something. I feel like I'm like in a Bruce Lee movie or something. Okay, let's go again. Okay, let's go. Next game. Make the hi-ya sound. Okay. Is this me? Wait, no, it's not me, is it? Wait, what? Wait, how do I do this again? Wait, I want to play. How do I do this? Why is someone else playing? 1 second. We go home. Okay, here we go. Play versus AI. Okay. Let's go. Let's think. Okay. Put the knight here. Put the knight here. Am I moving too fast? Oh, it caught me. Let me look at this. Oh, I misplayed this. I misplayed this. I had a chance, but I was too slow. Yeah, I had a chance, but I was too slow. This is in lockdown, right? Everything's stuck. I was too slow. I was too slow by half a second. Okay. Actually, I should slow down. I should slow down. I should play this like a pro, right? Think about this. Can I play en passant? It doesn't let me play en passant. It doesn't let me play en passant. No, you don't get to capture my bishop. Okay. Ah, it's too slow. It's too slow. It's too slow. Pieces are getting stuck. Pieces are getting stuck. Oh, I hung my king too. I hung my king. Yeah, I hung my king. It's not. Yeah, it didn't let me play en passant. Let me try to understand how it's supposed to work though. This is very tricky, actually. Okay, wait. I'm gonna capture your queen. No, you don't get that. I'm gonna capture your queen. Oh, it plays F5 before. No, it's not. You're not in time. Wait. Bishop B2 is a bad move. Do I have him? I have him. There we go. There we go. There we go. Exactly. I put the king in checkmate, but because the pawn was not on cooldown, I won the game. Okay, there we go. Let's do one more. Now I think I've got a good hang of this game now. Okay, let's see. No. No. Oh, what the? Wait, but now I got him cool. Wait. There we go. Let's do one more. No, I'm in lockdown. Okay. Oh shoot, I'm in trouble. This bishop's not on lockdown. Ah, I missed it. I missed. Did I miss mate in one? I might have. I wouldn't be shocked. Is this stalemate? Wait, isn't this stalemate? I mean, I missed it. Did I miss a mate in one? I might have missed a mate in one. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. No, but it's not mate. If the game ends, it's not mate. But you have to be very careful how you do this. You have to be very, very careful how you do this. No? Okay. This is very, very tricky, though. We're gonna get to A7 first. How does it beat me? How does it beat me there? Should be a way to mate him here. Wait, what just happened? Wait, what? I had mate, what? 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 Okay, I win. That was close. That was way too close. That was way too close, but I got the win. That was a good game, though. That was fun. That was actually really fun. Yeah, that was fun. No, I tried to take the king, but it wouldn't let me take it. It wouldn't let me take it. No, seriously, I tried. Let's do one more. What? My pawn got taken? What? Oh, come on. Come on. Oh, what just happened? I've got him, right? I've got him. I've got him. There we go. I got him. There we go. That was a good game. That was a good game. Yeah, that was a good game. I think Hikaru found his new favorite game, chess mode. We're about to have videos on. That was fun. That was fun. It'd be fun to play against human. It's sort of like basically what has to happen. You kind of have to it's like you have to know when to move and when not to move. I think that's like me being a GM. It's like I sort of started a sense where it's like you need to slow down a little bit. It's like fun to push all your P at the start and just push everything forward. But you kind of have to slow it down at the right moment and just wait for all your P's to be free, and then you line it up. Kind of. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. So that was actually good. That was fun. I enjoyed that. Let's do one more. One more. Okay, now I slowed down. See, I need to see what he's doing because I have the cooldown on 95 is too risky here. What's going on here? Did I get this off in time? I didn't get it off in time. No. I've got him, right? I've got him cooked. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. That was good. That was good. I think I kind of got the sense of how you're supposed to play this game. Please make the hi-ya sounds in your tournaments. I kind of got the hang of it towards the end. It's like there's certain moments, like once you play the first like 10 moves, you need to make sure not to hang anything, and then you basically have to out time your opponent. Which over the board, by the way, this would be a lot more chaotic. Over the board, like this would be insane. Like online, I can relatively speaking keep track of where the cooldown timer is. Over the board, looking like those red and blue dots would be really, really rough. Really, really rough. But that was fun. I enjoyed it. That was good.